Hey guys, so today I'm going to show you how to make cheap hair extensions at home. Now I made these for a project where I didn't have a very big budget and the hair didn't need to be good quality because I was just putting it into the nape of someone's neck. I was just smashing them in and then just wrecking it. So I bought really cheap quality hair and just knocked them together. But when I made them and I put them in the hair, I just realised, like, you know, if you use more expensive hair, there's really no reason why you couldn't feasibly make good, decent hair extensions that you could use every day for a lot cheaper than buying them. And it's really very easy to make. So I'm going to show you how to make those today. Now, you need a few things. First of all, you need hair. You need your fake hair. Now, if you're going to be wearing these every day, if you're a hairdresser just looking for the cheap, you know where to get cheap hair from. Just get the cheapest quality crap hair. If you're looking to wear these every day, you want to be looking at slightly more expensive hair, because the cheapest hair, you can't style it. You see here, this is all kind of nasty because it can't really be dressed very well. You can't use heat styling tools on it. It will just melt it because it's just made of, like, I don't know, wrong stuff. But if you bought like sort of the unwoven wefts of better artificial hair or unwoven wefts of natural hair, you could use these heat styling tools and such like that. Now I made these probably for about 20 pence per extension maximum, really, sort of 10-20 pence per extension. You could make these out of better quality hair for still only between sort of like £2 to £5 per extension, depending on the quality of the hair you went for. You can buy unwoven wefts of hair all over the internet. It's pretty easy to get hold of, and yeah, you can make your own decision as to sort of how much you want to spend on the hair. But obviously bear in mind, we're trying to make this cheaper for you, so I think no matter what hair you buy, it's still going to be cheaper though. So you need your fake hair, you need some ribbon, you need ribbon that will match the hair, about an inch thick. This obviously is darker because it's dark hair. You need lighter for lighter hair. You need a pair of scissors, you need a glue gun. You could feasibly, I think, make this with a sewing machine, I think, in roughly the same way, but I did it with a glue gun because it's just quicker and easier, and that's just the way I did it. And the last thing you need is little clip-in hair clips, little like snap-in hair clips. I bought these from a craft shop for 5 pence per clip. If you don't have a craft shop near you, or for some reason you're averse to using Amazon, you could probably buy these in like an accessory shop. Buy like small little snap-in hair clips. You know, the type where you just sort of snap them in. That's all. I think these are 5p each, and that's all you need. So I'm going to show you how to make these now. So first things first is we take our ribbon and we need to cut this to the length of the extension that we want. For today, I'm just gonna, as the example, I'm just gonna cut it kind of randomly. But you need to cut that just how you need it, and then lay your ribbon out here. Now I've got this piece of card here, you'll see why in a minute. It's fairly important. You want like a piece of paper or a piece of card or something to lay the hair on. That's for, you'll see why we need that in a minute. But anyway, so then you need to take your hair. Now say this hair that I'm using, it's cheap, it's really cheap, and it's an absolute pig to work with. The better quality hair is going to be easier to work with than this stuff. So then you get your hair, you cut a lump sort of so that you've got the weft as much hair as you need, and then you need to lay it out, and you need to sort of spread it out so that it's fairly evenly consistent across this top area, because if it looks like it's not consistent here, but if it's consistent across the top, it will be consistent down here. It just needs combing. So you need to spread it out so that it's fairly consistent across the top. It needs to be dense enough so that there's no gaps in the extension, but you don't want it to be too fat. It just needs to basically have as few gaps as possible. And then once that's laid out onto there, so that's all laid out there, we take our glue gun, which I left over there, very smart of me. First thing, we take our glue gun, and now we need to hold the extension so it doesn't move, and just glue right across the top of the extension, right across the hair. Don't worry too much about being neat, just get it on quickly across the top there. This is just the first kind of part. And then we need to lay the ribbon across where we've just glued and just press down gently and let that dry. That will be our kind of first pass with glue, if you like. You need to be a bit careful because it gets stringy. Just take that off. Try not to get it into the hair. It will come out of the hair, but obviously the least, especially say this hair is very cheap and it's quite difficult to work with, but try and keep it out of the hair if you can. So now that's set a little, stuck to the table. We can flip it over, and obviously this is where the card comes into play, because we don't want to pick it up and it all go loose. It's nice and neat across the card, so we can put a hand on it, put a hand on there. And we can flip it over, and now we have the other side. So now we've got this side. This side it's not very well stuck down. This side's still a little bit loose. So we're going to go straight back across again. Typically, I've run out of glue sticks in the middle of doing this. Well prepared as usual. So we're just going to go straight back across again. This time we need to be a little bit more thorough with the glue that we're putting on. So get it right in there. Again, you have to be quite quick though, because we want to fold the ribbon onto this before it sets, and this glue gun, it does set fast. So now we've done that, what we need to do is take our ribbon and fold it in half over the top of where we just glued. Now this is going to ooze out a little bit. It's going to be difficult to stop that, but that's okay, we can clean that up afterwards. Once it's set, we can then, and we've finished it, once the extension's all done, we can go back and we can clip all that off and neaten that up. Now that's more or less how we make the extension. That's the difficult part. You'll notice there is some little pieces you might have missed with the glue. You can just lift that up there, sort of squeeze some glue inside there, and then press down and do that. But to be honest, you don't have to worry too much, but it's good to get it at least most of the way across fairly consistently glued in. That'll just stop the hair coming off and hold it more securely. So that's kind of it now then. Just let that set for a bit because it's still very loose. Let it cool down for a second. Then we can glue our ends together, make sure they're nice and flat. This end's fine. And then that's more or less the tricky bit done. So this hair is an absolute pig. So now we've got our extension mainly finished. We can clip those ends off that we don't want. And there is our extension. This one's actually quite thick. So now we need to worry about how we're going to get that to clip into the hair. Just a little bit there, so I'll just go back over that. So you'll see where it's not stuck and it has stuck. So with the hair, it's difficult to sort of glue it all on the first pass anyway, but just pop the end of the glue gun in and just stick that down. when you've done the glue, pull it back this way, and then you'll notice this string here, it goes out over instead of into the hair, and then you can snap it into the hair like that. But at least it'll be set and you can get it out. But that just stops it gluing up all this bottom bit of hair when you really don't want that. So now, that'd be quite secure, and our extension is more or less done. Now check out whichever side is neater. This side's neater for me, this side's pretty gluey. We will be able to get a lot of that glue off later. What I tend to do is use a pair of nail clippers, flip them over so you've got that the actual clipper section, and then just clip it off like that, and you can just clip the glue off, the excess glue. You really want it to set before you do that though, because otherwise you're just sort of pulling at it. Right, so now you take your clips that you've got. We take our clips that we bought for almost no money at all. So we find the messier side, so this side's slightly neater than this side. So I'm going to glue the clips to this side because there's even less of a chance that you're going to see that. Just touch a little bit of glue onto each one of these and glue them to either side. So one that side. Obviously if you've got longer, you might need to put one on their sides and one in the middle. This is just a short, small, the width is not so wide. One there, one there. And now we've got a clip-in extension that's solid and will look good, and it probably costs nothing. I mean, this won't look that good because the hair's horrible. So this hair, it really doesn't, you can't really work with it very well, but you get the idea. With better hair, we could have made that look like an actual proper legitimate extension. I mean, I don't think it's too bad, but with legitimate hair it would be a lot better. So yeah, that's pretty much that. I'll pin it into my hair, but the camera's tilted down. Yeah, so, you know, don't really know where we're going to put this. Maybe it's a nice fringe. Clip it in. Oh yeah, there we go. We've got a clipping. I haven't really got enough hair to cover it, but yeah, you get the idea. There's your clipping extension. It's made. This is horrible hair to work with. You probably wouldn't want to use this every day if you were going to make these for everyday hair. But it will definitely work. With better hair, you'd get a much better result, a much cleaner result. These are more for, say, these particularly are more for if you're just working with a hair show model and you're working to a really cheap budget and you're not going to see these. When I made this one and these, obviously this exact copy of this, I was using it on the nape area right at the bottom and doing sort of in between these and Balmain extensions, and it was just to cheapen up a cheap way to make a lot of bulk. But you could feasibly, with say, if you bought decent hair, I really don't see how the problem with making really good looking extensions like this. Just use better quality hair. I say, and this hair is not good quality anyway, because you can't, not good quality, but it's not useful in an everyday situation because you can't sort of style it very well. You can't really comb it or brush it that well, and you can't use any heat tools or anything like that. But with better quality hair, this process of just gluing it across the top and just gluing these clips on would be absolutely spot on, and it would fall and sit a lot nicer, and you'd be able to use heat tools, and you could use these for every day. It would be absolutely no problem, and it would cost you maybe around, you know, probably looking at £5 each rather than sort of £50 if you bought them like properly. And yeah, so that's how to make cheap hair extensions. Cheers.